Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having an amazing day. It's that time of the month. Again, it is time for the monthly manga haul. I went a little too absurd this month, getting a total of 37 volumes. Some manga I have been wanting for a very long time. A bunch of new series. Some continuations of some new bi-monthly series. And just some awesome manga I've been collecting. But before I start this video, if you're at all interested in more manga content like this, be sure to go down, hit that subscribe button. Also, join the Discord, link is in the description. But without further ado, let's talk about some manga, shall we? So, I am going to structure this video a little differently than other manga hauls. I'm going to structure this series by genre. So, I'll do Shounen, slice of life, seinen, comedy, romance, all that, to make it a little bit more coherent. And so if you guys don't really like shonens, you can skip the shonen section. If you don't really like slice of life, you can skip the slice of life section and just look at what you want to look at. I think that's a good way to run this haul video. But yeah, let's talk about some manga, shall we, folks? So first, we're going to start off with the shonen section. Basically just the new releases and a series I've been dying to have that isn't a normal occurrence in these manga hauls. So first, we have a very, very, very popular manga. One I used to read online a lot, and when I heard the physicals were coming out, I stopped reading it, and I waited for the first volume, and that is Sakamoto Days Volume 1. I read the first 50 chapters online, like I just said. This is a fantastic manga. I love the art, the action, the way the fights play out. The comedy's really good. I love the characters. I love Sakamoto. This has some of the hardest panels in Weekly Shonen Jump right now. I think it is so phenomenal. This manga just blows me away every single chapter from what I've read. I haven't read this volume yet. I'm not in a huge rush since I have read this series, but this is a series I absolutely want in my collection and one I'm very, very, very excited to collect. Also, these covers are banging. Volume 4 or 5 has one of the best covers ever out of this entire series. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cover. But yeah, such a great series. I cannot wait to start reading this. Absolutely recommend this series to those shonen nerds out there like me that just love a classic shonen manga. Sakamoto Days is definitely the one. Next, we have a manga that I showed off in my manga recommendations for beginners video, and that is Spy Family Volume 7. For those that don't know, an anime came out recently. I watched the first couple episodes. It is by far amazing. Mixed Nuts by Official. Hyde Dandism is an absolute banger. The ending by, again, Hoshino is also an absolute banger. This series all around is just an absolute banger. This is just a phenomenal manga through and through. Everything this series does, it does so well. I think it is such a phenomenal manga. It is so well-rounded. It has some beautiful action, some really wholesome father-daughter moments between Anya and Lloyd, and some very wholesome romance between Lloyd and Yor. This series all around is just fantastic. I love it through and through. Everything about it is just phenomenal. I cannot stop talking about this series and how much I love it. It is always my main priority whenever a volume comes out. Sadly, that ain't often. A volume comes out like once every 6 months, which is really sad. But I believe this is a bi-weekly series, if not a monthly series. I'm not 100% sure, but it takes a while for a volume to come out. I'm always super sad, but whenever a volume does come out, it's like, woohoo! You know, we got a new volume. It is always super exciting, and this is just a phenomenal series. Definitely recommend Spy Family. Next, we have a timeless classic when it comes to rom-coms, one that everyone knows, and I hope a lot of you guys enjoy. That is Love is War Volume 22. This series has been just stacking with the phenomenal content. The past like 5 volumes have been absurdly good. It's like too good for a rom-com like this. Some very emotional moments with some of my favorite characters, or at least my favorite character, Yu Ishigami, and some really, really, really well-developed romance between Kaguya and Shirogane. I think it is a beautiful manga with some really well-written characters, some really well-written comedy, some over-the-top comedy, and if I were to explain it that way, just some really wholesome moments, some really emotional moments, some of the best moments in this manga have been in the last couple volumes. I think it is so good. I think the series is peaking for me right now. I gotta say the beginning has been kind of slow, or was kind of slow. It was just rom-com comedy. It was more comedy than romance. Now it's heavy romance with a heavy comedy. I think it is fully well balanced between comedy and romance right now, and I 110% recommend this to you guys. 110%. I will talk about this series until it ends. It is such a beautiful manga. I definitely recommend it. Now, a series I don't necessarily recommend, and that is Chainsaw Man Volume 10. I mention this every time I pick it up. I'm only picking up this series because it's almost over. Last volume comes out in June, and that's it. I'm done. I'm dusted with this manga. I'm never bothering with it again. Volume 9 was good. I have to say that was probably one of the better volumes. I do still think the first 3 volumes are the best volumes. After that, it tanks in shit content. Other than that, I think the series is okay. I haven't read Volume 10 yet. I'm probably not going to anytime soon. I'm probably going to wait until Volume 11 comes out, then read it. But for now, I'm not reading this. It's an alright series. I do like this cover, though. Makima's a baddie. Smash. But yeah, it's a cool read. I don't really care about it that much. But a series I do care about a lot, and one that I find heavily underrated, My Hero Academia Vigilantes Volume 12. This series is just peaking and peaking and peaking. From volume, volume 6 on, it's just been so good. This manga's so good. Holy shit, is this ever fantastic. I love this series so much. The canon ties it has to My Hero when it comes to backstories with Midnight, Eraserhead, Mirako, All Might. I think it's just so good. Everything about this series is just beautifully written. Right now, I think physically I am enjoying this a lot more than My Hero. Digitally, My Hero is fantastic right now, but this just takes the spotlight. This just blows me away how good a spin-off canon side story can be. It's just such a well made manga that I 110% recommend to you My Hero nuts out there. It's just a beautiful manga. Oh my god, is this fun. Next, we have a new shonen manga, and one I'm thoroughly enjoying, and that is Kaiju number 8, volume 2. I do thoroughly enjoy this manga. I think it is a well-rounded manga. I said this in my manga recommendations. It is a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I think this series does everything really well, but I don't think it does one thing the best. But it does everything well, just enough for me to be entertained and to keep reading this series. I am definitely intrigued to see where this manga goes. I have to say these covers are really nice. I love just the plain colors with characters on the front of them. I do really like Volume 3's cover. I think that is a great cover. But yeah, this series is just phenomenal. I love it so much. It's a very well-rounded manga with a lot of great action, some cool characters, a cool MC, a really funny MC, and just some well-rounded goodness. Alright, so next is a manga that's been a controversial pickup in my friend group online, and that is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 15. Now, I have to say, I am thoroughly enjoying this series. I binge read 13, 14, and 15, which I don't do. I never do that. I never read more than a volume a day, which is really weird, so I guess you can say I love this series right now, which I do. I do fully and wholeheartedly enjoy this manga. I think it is fantastic. I can tell, or I heard people got mad at how edgy it got, and honestly, I'm okay with it. Yuji's edginess and anger is very justified. This series has just been so good so far. The Jogo versus Sukuna fight was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed that fight. Everything about the Shibuya arc right now is fantastic. I think it just ended. I think the Shibuya arc just ended or is about to end in the 16th and 17th volume. I'm very excited to read how that ends. But yeah, this is a great series. I love the art. The action's really nice. I do wholeheartedly enjoy this manga, and it's definitely going to be a main priority for me for a bi-monthly manga pickup. This is fantastic. I do thoroughly enjoy JJK. Alright, so the next series is a little bit of a special one. I don't know if you guys can see it in frame. I hope not. But, like I said, this is a type of manga that doesn't normally show up in my haul videos. And that is Japanese manga. Yes, I finally picked up some Japanese manga. The last time I bought some was, I don't know how long ago, like 6+ months ago, which was Blue Lock. But I'm very happy to introduce to you guys JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, Volume 9, Volume 10, Volume 11, and Volume 12. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. I bought half of the Steel Ball Run franchise. Now, the only reason why I didn't buy the entire series at once is I like to spread out my orders. I don't really like spending too much in one shot, so I only got half of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run, but I'm still very, very, very excited to add this to my collection. This is a phenomenal manga. I feel like Part 7 is when Araki really caught his stride and really started to show who he is as a manga artist. I can tell throughout this series, you can see his art just develop into a beautiful masterpiece, into what like Part 8 is now. I think Part 8's art style is phenomenal. I think it is fantastic, and this series is just so good. Definitely one of the best mangas I've ever written, and my second favorite JoJo's part right now. Part 8 might overtake it when I finish Part 8. I haven't right now. I'm just slowly going through it because I don't want it to end. But I am still wholeheartedly enjoying Part 8 right now, and I thoroughly enjoyed Part 7. I think it's an easy 9.8 for me. It's not Part 4, so it's not a 10. But I do think Part 7 is phenomenal. I do thoroughly enjoy this manga, and it's just fantastic. The spines are gorgeous. The covers are gorgeous. I'm obviously going to show some B-roll for you guys, but I think this manga is just phenomenal. It definitely worth the money that I spent on it. For those that don't know, I talked about it in my where I buy my manga video. Amazon JP is actually a great place to buy manga. For those that want a series that's not in English and want it physically, Amazon Japan's a great spot. You get it in like 5 days. Really good prices. Shipping's a little bit of a bitch, but that's alright, just because it costs a lot. But even then, it's still cheaper than buying MSRP manga in the US or Canada. So I'm thoroughly okay with my purchase. Definitely one of the best purchases I've ever made, along with Blue Lock in my manga collection. I'm going to have to find a spot on my shelf. I'm running very low on space, so I'm going to have to find a spot soon. But other than that, it's not my problem right now. So I'm going to put these up hopefully soon and just stare at the glory. It's a beautiful manga I've been wanting in my collection for a very, very, very long time. But yeah, that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run, Part 7, Volume 1 to Volume 12 in Japanese. Now, I'm not done with the JoJo's. I got what I would like to call the best purchase I've ever made. One that is very unique to my collection and something I've never owned before, and that is the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure JoJo Nicole art book. Like I said, this is easily the best purchase I've ever made on Amazon Japan. This was $25. I think it is an absolute steal. Everything about this art book is fantastic. For those that don't know, this is Araki's art book from when he had a section in a art museum. Yes, the god himself was in an art museum. What other mangaka have you seen in an art museum have his own section in an art museum in Japan? I don't know who. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful release. I love this slipcover. The art shown in this book is phenomenal. I'm a simp for Araki's art and just how artistic he is and how creative he is when it comes to character designs and overall just his drawings in general. How he never draws the same character the same. Every art piece, the character looks different. I love it about him, but they're still distinguishable. You can still tell that, oh, that's Josuke, oh, that's Giorno, oh, that's Trish, oh, that's, Bucciarati. You can always tell who they are, but they always look different, and I love that about Araki. You can tell that over time, his art style has changed. He went from drawing buff, burly 16-year-olds to really slim and boxy characters, and I do truly love that about Araki, how his just art style has evolved over the 25-30 years he's been making manga. I think it is phenomenal. This is generally, like I said, the best purchase I've ever made. I just love it to death. This cover is awesome. Probably my favorite part about this cover is Funny Valentine and that drippy ass coat. I think it looks cool as hell. But yes, I'm gonna stop googling over this or drooling over this. Definitely, if you're a JoJo geek like me, please, for the love of God, buy this. It is phenomenal. I can stare at this for hours. Next, we're going to move on to the slice of life section and the subgenres of the slice of life genre. So like slice of life romance, slice of life action, slice of life sport, or just straight slice of life. First, we have a new sports manga, one that I think holds a lot of potential. And that is Run on Your New Legs Volume 1. Like I said, I think the series has a ton of potential to be a very character-focused manga on how this dude somehow got into an accident. I don't know how. It hasn't been explained yet. Some kind of soccer accident, I think. And how he lost his leg and how he's just been a shell of a human until he found running. And how this dude can make him run again. I do think this manga is going to go somewhere. I do think the art is pretty basic, but it is still very good manga art. I do thoroughly enjoy this art. If you're looking for a manga that has potential and one I do actually recommend, I definitely recommend this manga to you guys. Next is a manga I'll continue to get hate for, and I don't give a fuck. That is Rent-A-Girlfriend Volume 12. Now, at the end of this volume, I believe it introduces the movie arc, or the movie state, I can't remember what the arc's called, but I heard that's definitely the best arc in this series, and I'm wholeheartedly excited for that arc. Even then, I'm still thoroughly enjoying this manga. Honestly, I'm reading it for the really hot women. I do thoroughly enjoy the women in this manga. I think they're really cute. Rukia's amazing. Chizuru's bae. Sumi's really cute. Other than that, I do think the series is really good. I love the art. The covers are pretty cute. The later covers, oh my god, am I excited for those covers, to own those covers. I think they're beautiful covers, but other than that, I think this is a pretty good manga. Definitely not the best thing I'm reading right now, but one I do thoroughly enjoy. I keep saying thoroughly enjoy in this video. I don't care, because I thoroughly enjoy every manga I buy. Maybe except for Chainsaw Man. But other than that, there's not much I can say about this volume, but I can tell the movie arc's going to be awesome. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about that arc, and yeah, I'm just so wholeheartedly excited for that arc. So for those that don't know, I made a manga wishlist video, and I mentioned a series called Boys Run the Riot. So I picked up the first volume. This is actually... I've made that video like 4 months ago, and this is the only manga I actually picked up from that video yet. But I saw this only because the first volume was so out of stock, but the second it stocked up at my local Indigo, I copped it instantly. I heard this is about a transgender woman that thinks she's a boy, or who wholeheartedly believes she's a boy, which is fine. That's completely okay with me. You do your life. It's about fashion. I'm thoroughly, wholeheartedly intrigued by that concept and how it's going to emotionally invest in these characters and the fashion that they get into. I don't know about this big dude yet. I don't know what's up with him. I am genuinely very excited for this manga. The cover is amazing. These covers are gorgeous. I'm seriously excited to read this. I haven't read it yet. I literally just picked this up yesterday as of filming this video. It is Saturday the 23rd? Yeah, I got that right, the 23rd. But yeah, very excited to read this. This isn't a manga I would usually have in my collection, but I'm not against it. I'm going to try it out, see how it is. If I like it, I'll continue to pick it up until volume 4. I mean, I might as well just pick it up either way, because it's only 4 volumes. Next, we have a manga I genuinely didn't know had physicals until a buddy of mine, Tux, sup Tux, shout out, told me there was physicals, and that is When Will Ayumu Make His Move? Now, for those that don't know, this is by the same person who made Teasing Monster Tagaki-san. And I saw the first episode of the anime. I thought it was really good, so I decided to pick up this manga. There is an anime coming out for it. I don't know if it's out yet. I haven't really been catching up with the anime recently. I've seen some panels. I've looked through this volume. It does look very wholesome. I'm very excited to read this. I've been wanting some slice of life manga in my collection, or some more slice of life manga. For those that don't know, the slice of life genre is my favorite genre of all time. I think it has some of the best animes out there, in my opinion. And I'm just very excited to read this manga. Yeah, it's not much I can say about it. I know nothing about it. Next is another manga I bought on a whim. Another slice of life manga. I'm really trying to up my slice of life section in my manga collection, and that is Saint Young Men Volume 1. So I'm not a religious person, but I'm not against it whatsoever. I'm very intrigued by this manga. It's basically just Jesus and Buddha out in Tokyo, just on vacation. I think that sounds really awesome. Just, you know, just doing their whole daily life thing. Their slice of life things. But I'm seriously intrigued to read this manga. I don't know, like, what to expect. I know there's going to be a lot of religious references in this manga, which is fine. I'll happily read up on it and know about them and learn about them. And yeah, the spines are really nice. These covers, these nice hard covers are really, really, really clean. But yeah, not much I can say. Let's move on. Next is a manga that the homeboy Prem pushed me to buy, and that is Interview with Monster Girls Volume 1. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I saw the anime, thought it was awesome. I never saw Volume 1 in stock, so I never picked it up until now. It was in stock on Amazon, so I bought it. I am very excited to read the manga. Like I said, I watched the anime. I loved it, thought it was really unique. So I'm wondering how this manga is going to unfold past the anime. There are some characters that I see in this manga that weren't in the anime, so I'm very intrigued to see who those characters are and what their demi-human power is, I guess. And yeah, it's just a really wholesome slice of life about this dude that just wants to learn about demi-humans, and they just happen to be going to his school. And yeah, I think it's awesome, very wholesome, very sweet. Definitely recommend the anime to those. I'll have to read the manga and give you guys my opinion on that. Alright, next we're going to move on to the Seinen section of this video. Now, I don't know if this manga is considered a seinen, but I'm going to include it as a seinen, and that is Ragna Crimson Volume 2 and Volume 3. I read the first 2 volumes. I thought this series is fantastic. I do really enjoy this manga. I think the art's not the best I've ever seen, but it is still cracked out art. The characters are really cool. I like the general plot of this manga and how the character got his powers. I think that's a really unique way of giving it to him, instead of just being like, oh, I leveled up, I'm now super strong. I don't really like that, but this series does it really well, and it's just a story of revenge and protection and just doing what you have to do to live. I think it is a very intriguing story. I'm very invested in this manga right now. Luckily, there's only 5 volumes out right now. Yes, it is still ongoing, so I'm gonna continue to read this manga and see where it goes. I heard Volume 3 is gonna blow me out of the park. And yeah, I'm just very excited to read more about this manga and just see where it goes. That's all I can say about it. I haven't read too much to give a full thesis on this manga, but I do genuinely really enjoy it. Alrighty, so next is a manga I'm having troubles collecting, and that is Hell's Paradise Volume 5. Now, I am gonna snitch on myself. I don't have Volume 4 yet, but when I saw this in store, I knew I'm never gonna see it again, so I bought it. I'm never the kind of person that skips volumes and just starts buying whatever I see. For example, let's say I buy My Hero and they have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I will stop at 3. I will never pick up anything after what's not available. That's kind of hard to explain, but that's kind of how I work. So this is the first time I've actually ever done that. It looks really weird on my shelf. It gives my OCD triggers whenever I look at it. But hopefully I can find Volume 4. Also, I have a fucking rant. I watched and I've seen a lot of photos from my buddies where they go manga shopping. And I just want to say, how come every other bookstore besides mine has fucking Hell's Paradise Volume 4? Every Indigo I've ever been to and I've ever seen for the past month and a half has never had Volume 4, and every time I see it, I just want to scream because I've been dying for that volume so bad. I really want to read Hell's Paradise, but I don't want to read too much and have to wait so long for Volume 4. That's just my little nitpick, but for now, I'm picking up Volume 5. Luckily, it's finished, so I'm not in a huge rush. It's just one that's heavily out of stock, and one I'm just trying so hard to collect. But yeah, that is Hell's Paradise Volume 5. Next is a series I've been wanting for a while and actually ended up in stock on Amazon, so I picked it up, and that is Prison School Volume 1. Now, this isn't the kind of manga I usually keep in my collection. It's a very ecchi manga. Literally, if I scroll through a page, I remember seeing a page, where these 2 women are just fingering each other. It's a very weird manga, but I heard it's hilarious. And I'm always down for a comedy manga. Omnibuses are super clean. I love the spines. The spines are gorgeous. Along a shelf, they look phenomenal. Alright, so next is a series I've been dying to collect. The mangaka is one I've been messing with heavily. So for those that don't know, I actually made an entire video on Die Dark and just how much I love it and how much fun it is. So, considering how much fun I had with Die Dark, I decided to pick up the first 6 volumes of Doro Hey Doro. Luckily, I didn't know this until after I picked up Volume 1, but apparently Volume 1 was really hard to find. So, I got very lucky to pick up this series. This is Volume 2. I am going to blow through this series, picking it up wise. I'm planning to buy it all in one batch, hopefully in the next week or 2. Just so I can have it, just so when the rest of it goes out of stock. I have all of it, and I'm now waiting like a year and a half for a volume to restock. I've never read it. I've seen the anime. I thought it was really good. I thought the ending was kind of trash, but I've heard this manga is really, really, really good. Just looking at the art's insane. It is super, super, super cool. I have to say, these are definitely like the sexiest manga I've ever owned. I love the spines. The spines are gorgeous. The covers are beautiful. The build quality is awesome. The only thing I don't like about it are the lengths of the volumes. For $20, why is volume 6 so fucking short? Why is it so slim? But I can't really complain. It's a banging series, one I'm very intrigued to start reading. I'm going to wait until I have the entire series to read it, because I heard it's the kind of series where I need to know what's happening, and I can't wait a long time to read the volumes. I need to read it like day after day, or like volume after volume. So I'm going to wait until I have the entire series, and then I'll read all of it. So hopefully the next haul video, you will see me with all of Dorohedoro. It looks beautiful on my shelf. It's going to go right next to Die Dark, so it's going to be my little Q Hayashida section, and I'm very excited to collect the last 17 volumes I need. So the last and final volume I got is the Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 2. Now, this isn't a series I'm dying to collect. I got this because a boy really wanted me to buy it, so I did it just to make him happy. But I'm not saying I don't like Berserk. I do really enjoy Berserk. The first volume was awesome. I haven't read this yet. The only reason why I'm not buying them all that fast is because they're expensive as fuck. For one volume, it's $65.99 Canadian, so it's really, really, really expensive. But I think it's one that's worth it, and one I pick up every couple months. The leather build, the massive prints, the really good art, I think it definitely is worth the price. But yes, it's not a series that's my main priority. It's one I pick up on a whim, like I just said, every couple months whenever I have the cash for it. But yeah, wholeheartedly interested in Berserk. I've never consumed Berserk before. I'm very blind to what happens in Berserk. I know a couple of things, like the start of the Golden Age arc, but that's it. Other than that, I know nothing about this series. All I heard, it's like emotionally destroys people. And is one of the best written things out there, like, in the world. Okay, that was a big asshole. Holy hell. 36 volumes in total. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, be sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to leave a like. Also, tell me what you guys picked up this month. I am fully, wholeheartedly intrigued. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Love y'all.